been there in Football Manager. You find that perfect player who will help take your team to the next level, but either he just doesn't want to join or his club will not sell him. Now, my name is Luke and I am delighted to be here as a guest on FMSCOUT as one of their brand new FM specialists, and today I will be taking you through a video which is 6 steps to help you sign an uninterested player. Now, of course guys, if you do enjoy the video today, do go and drop a like down onto it, and if you're not already, get yourself subscribed to FMSCOUT. And if you also want to check out any of my own content, there'll be a link down below to my channel LS Plays FM in the description, where I have various types of FM content such as FM21 tactics videos, tutorials, and also Let's Plays over there. So if you want to check it out, just use that link. But guys, let's get into this 6 steps to sign an uninterested player video. Here we are then in Football Manager 21, and we'll get straight into it with step 1, which is basically to show your interest in the player you want. And that is to either A, send an inquiry, or to ask about the agent availability, or to do both. Either will work. Now, I am playing as Atalanta here on a personal save, and I spotted that I want Camavinga, the young wonder kid French midfielder, to come into my team and take us to that new level. Now, Camavinga is a great player. He's very pricey though. He will want to join my team, but Stade Rennais are not going to want to sell him because of course they're not. It's Camavinga after all. Now, as I say, the first things to do is to offer an inquiry and to ask the agent about availability. It shows the player that you're interested in them, and it basically just gets the ball rolling on the whole transfer itself. So let's go first of all, and I'll show you how to make an inquiry. You right click on them, you go on transfer, you do make inquiry. It then gives you a little symbol here to tell you an inquiry has been made. While also that's going on, I'm going to also ask the agent about the player's availability. To do that, you just right click on their name and click on this button here, or you can go into their profile, go on transfer, ask agent about availability. It will give you this menu here, or it will give you a little pop-up menu on the screen as well. Either will work exactly the same, and it will tell you first of all whether or not the player is interested in joining, and also whether or not the club is interested in selling. With Camavinga here, he wants to join us, he's willing to have a wage with us, everything like that. He wants to play as many matches as possible, but a high fee may be required, as I believe Rennes may not be willing to sell, is the key thing to take note of here. That will basically mean that Stade Rennais, in this case, do not want to sell their player. So if I continue on here, we'll wait to get that inquiry back from Stade Rennais. So we'll go through it here and we'll see what they come back with. And here we go. They have rejected it. Unsurprisingly, they do not want to sell Camavinga to us. Unsurprising, all things considered. So that is step 1 done and dusted, just getting your interest noted to the team and the player. Of course, in this case, we've been firmly rejected. So we go on to step 2, which is to make the player your top target in the transfer window, where basically you tell the media and the world that you want that player at your team, and it can help stir up a little bit of trouble at the club with the player and make him maybe more willing to either join you or to try and force his way out of his current team. So I'm going to right click on Camavinga's name, I'm going to go on to transfer, declare interest as top target, and what that'll do, it'll give you 2 messages. First of all, it'll give you a little news article saying about it. You can see here, Camavinga set for huge move to Atalanta for apparently £199 million. Now I don't want that because that is way too much money. But I get asked by the press about me making him his top target. I'm going to respond to it. I'm going to tell you the first one on here, he's our absolute #1 priority. If I end that and then proceed, we'll then get a little news article saying about that as well. And again, the point of why you do it, there it is there. Apparently I make him my top priority. But the reason why is because it tells the player you want him badly. That is then step 2 completed. You've already made your intentions known to the world. The next one is to get your chief scout, your director of football, to be scouting that player for a 3-month period of time. Doing so tells the player again that you're really interested in him, and also it will provide you with news articles of the scout or the director of football going to watch that player consistently. So I'm going to go on to Camavinga, I'm going to go to the report section up here, I'm going to go to assign scout, and then I'm going to go to Javier Ribalta. He is my director of football. I'm going to go onto here and go for 3 months, and it will then basically mean he'll be going scouted for the next 3 months in game. And as I say, it will provide you with news articles. You should see some popping up on the screen of various different news articles that have occurred throughout the game once I have been playing through this save with the scout reports coming in for Camavinga, basically. Additionally as well, guys, you don't just have to send your scout or director of football to scout the player. You yourself as the manager can go and watch them play as well, and again drum up that interest and make it known to the world that you want that player in your side. To do so, you just click on the team's name, you go to their schedule, and you have to find a game which you are able to attend. Now, certain games you won't be able to because your team will be playing a game at that same time. An example here, when Stade Rennais are facing Nice, I can't attend because I've already got a fixture on that day. But if I go to the one below where there's a little dash icon here and hover my mouse over, it says select to attend the match. So if I click it, it then tells me I'm going to be attending that game, and I can then just simulate forward and go, and then when it gets to that day, it will let me go and watch the match. And then you may get a news article to say you've been to it, you may not, but again, it does the principle of showing that player you are wanting them. Now, I've gone on a little bit since the last part, and now we are here for step 4, and in this case with Camavinga, our scout has just come in with our final scout report on him, and a good sign already is the fact that apparently there's now an estimated cost for Camavinga. But we can try and make life even easier for ourselves, and that is to try and bring in people who are either favoured personnel of the player or similar nationalities to try and again entice the player to join your club. Now, to find out who a player's favoured personnel are, you go onto their profile, you hover over the overview button, go to information, and on here it will list different players who, in this case Camavinga, has as their favoured personnel. This could be friends, teammates, it could be backroom staff members, idols, anything like that. And if you can try and get some of those players in, it can try and help make your club a more interesting proposition, and also you can get players who are from the same nationality, that type of stuff. It can do all of that good stuff. Here at Atlanta, I already have quite a few French players in my team, so I'll show you one thing you can do with them very shortly. But in the case of Camavinga, there's a backroom staff member at Stade Rennais, the assistant manager there at the club, apparently is one of his favoured personnel, so I can go and try and sign him. So I'll go and do that. I'll sign him and come back once he has arrived. But in the case of his other favoured personnel, he has Paul Pogba as an idol. Now, in the case of Pogba, he's not going to be willing to join us here at Atlanta, not for Manchester United. I'll show you how it actually looks for a player sometimes when they're not willing to join you if you look at their agent availability. If I click on here, and you can see on it, he wouldn't be willing to join us here at Atlanta because our standing isn't good enough in the game. So in some cases, no matter how hard you try, some players just won't be willing to join unless you hit certain expectations. Maybe they want continental football, maybe they want you to be a bigger club. So with Pogba, say if I really wanted to get him into the club to help get Camavinga in, which wouldn't really be a financially feasible thing, but if I wanted to, I could try and make it so in a couple of years' time, maybe once we're a bigger club, get Pogba in, get Camavinga in, that type of stuff. But we won't need Pogba to get the job done here still. I will get the assistant manager in at Stade Rennais, and then we will go from there as well. Now then, the assistant manager from Stade Rennais has now just joined us here at Atalanta, so we have one of Camavinga's 2 favoured personnel at the club. And the next thing I'm going to do as well, this is still part of step 4, is I'm going to go to some of my French players and try and get them to entice Camavinga to come to the club and talk to the press. So I'm going to go to Diakabi here, who is a French national player, and I'm going to go to discuss promote club to top target via press, and of course Eduardo Camavinga. I'll click on that. So we're interested in signing Camavinga, and he's willing to go and talk to it. Sometimes some players will not go and talk to the press, but in case of Diakabi, he has gone and done so. It's given us a brand new article saying about it, and we can see here that Diakabi touts Atalanta to Camavinga. So now we've basically done everything in our power currently to try and encourage Camavinga to come to Atalanta. So now with all of that stuff now done, all of those previous steps, it's now time for us to go back in for Camavinga and to see if Stade Rennais' stance on selling him has now changed. Of course, if it doesn't, we'll then go into step 5, which will be basically how to try and make Camavinga himself force through the deal. So we'll go to Camavinga, we'll go to the transfer, make an offer, and now he's valued at £37.5 million. So I'm going to go, let's say, 45 mil. I think that's not too unreasonable. We'll suggest it. They're not even negotiating at the moment, our Stade Rennais. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate forward. I'm going to keep on putting bids and keep on repeating all of the same bids, keep scouting him, everything like that, to try and see if we can make Camavinga become unhappy at Stade Rennais and force through a deal. So I will run through it. Of course, this is step 5, to just keep repeating everything we've already done, and I will get to the point, hopefully, when he will hand in a transfer request. I have now simulated through about 3 weeks in game after repeating all of those steps and kept on bidding and bidding and bidding on Camavinga, and finally at long last the man has gotten annoyed at Stade Rennais for not letting him go, and he's handed the transfer request. You'll see against his name here the wonderful little request icon is transfer listed. Now if we click on his name, he's unhappy, he's asked to leave, he wants to move to a bigger club. So because of that, I'm going to go back in for him, hopefully get him a bit cheaper than what Stade Rennais initially would have wanted. So if we go into transfer, make an offer, and first of all, straight away, there's now an asking price. That was never there before. They want £96 million. That's still a lot of money in comparison to what I'm willing to pay for him. So I don't really want to offer that. I'm going to offer, let's say, £60 million. What do they think with that, Stade Rennais? They are actually okay with 60, but they want a percentage of profit from next sale and a per league appearance. I'll be honest, that isn't actually too bad. Overall, that comes in at £90 million, and it's not all up front. If I can get him to say 30% on the percentage of profit, I will actually take that. We'll suggest that to them, and they are happy to go with that. So we're going to make that offer, and at long last, we've had a bid for Camavinga accepted. It's less than what we initially were expecting to pay. Initially, they thought it'd be around about £190 million, is what the original articles were saying, but we've got a bid of 90 accepted. It's still very expensive, of course, it's Camavinga in the day, but it's a lot less than what we would expect. We now have to offer him a contract. We'll go and do the negotiations. He wants to be a star player. Well, I'm happy to give him all these things in here. We'll finalise it, and we'll go and offer him, let's say, 75,000. We'll give him £5 million for signing on. £250,000 like that. I want to take off the wage after international appearances, and we'll go like so. We'll offer that to him. He still isn't convinced, so let's go 75 grand again. I'll up his agent fee, and we'll even up his appearance fee to say £20,000. We'll suggest it. Still isn't convinced. If I offer it again, though, it should hopefully, well, not this time, once more, should do the job. Indeed it is. It has been finalised. So we've given him a contract, so I'm going to simulate through, and hopefully he'll be an Atalanta player very soon. Here we are then, I've gone forward a few more days, and finally, after the massive transfer battle that has gone on for months in game, Camavinga is about to become an Atalanta player. You probably can't see it behind my webcam, but I've clicked the accept button, and now he's going to join. Indeed he is. Atalanta sign Camavinga. So that therefore is 5 steps so far to sign a player who is uninterested in being sold by his club. But what do you do if you have that player who just won't accept a contract? That then is step 6, which we'll get to now. Now I'm here then for the final step of the video, step 6, and that is if you have a player who's not that convinced about joining you, much like I have Ousmane Dembele here on the screen, the Barcelona winger, then it's all about offering them more enticing things in their contract, bonuses, sell-on fees, things like that, to make them more likely to join you. With Dembele here, he's more tempted to join Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid over us, so I'm going to go into negotiations. I'm going to give him everything that he wants on this contract. I'm going to finalise it, negotiate it, and then on here he wants a big contract as is, but I'm going to offer him even more than what he wants. I'm going to change my budgets. I'm going to offer him more in the wage. I'll offer him, say, 160, offer him bigger signing on fees, bigger agent fees, everything like that. I can't offer him a wage rise, sadly, but I'm going to offer everything up more. Sell-on fees are a big thing you can offer, because especially if you're not intending to sell the player, a sell-on fee isn't necessarily going to have that much of an impact. Basically, if you sell a player, they get a cut of the money is what that sell-on fee means. So I'm going to offer him, say, 35% of it. So a big, big offer. I'll offer him big appearance fees, big assist bonuses, more than what he wants currently. Things like that. I'm going to offer him, say, a big team of the year bonus at, say, £1.5 million, and we'll even make it so if he hits certain assist targets throughout the year, he'll get big chunks of money as well. So I'll offer this to him, and we'll see what he says. Hopefully he'll use it and choose us over Atletico and Inter Milan. So I'll finalise it, suggest it, and get it sent to him, and I'll come back shortly and we'll hopefully have Dembele joining the club. Here we are, and I've gone forward a few days in game, and Dembele has chosen to join us over Atletico Madrid and Inter Milan. After that big old contract with all the bonuses we offered to him, he has chosen us despite not being that interested in our club, and I'm now going to accept it, proceed on, and he's now an Atalanta player. And with that, it brings to a close this video here today. That is the final step of the 6 steps on how to sign an uninterested player. And guys, I really do hope you get to use this in your own Football Manager, and you can get these steps to work for you, whether it's signing an uninterested player or a team who does not want to sell. I really hope it does work for you. If you did enjoy this video and find it to be helpful, then please do chuck a like down onto it. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, do make sure you get yourself subscribed to FM Scout if you're not already. And finally as well, guys, if you are interested in my content, you'll find a link down in the description to my channel, LS Plays FM, and hopefully you'll go over there and give it a sub and join me over there for some of my FM21 content as well. But guys, thank you very much for joining, and I will see you again next time.